Don't do this in Marrakech, but definitely do this.
Hi guys, hola, salam alaikum, bonjour. These are all the languages I've learned in Morocco. I'm just popping by to say Happy New Year to you all. Unfortunately, the baby is needing me, so I'm going to love you and leave you.
And we shall see you on another adventure in Morocco.
Very soon. Stay tuned.
So you're just stuck with me for this video, guys, but I'm going to share with you some amazing tips that you guys need to know when you visit Marrakech. In this video, we'll discuss all the things you must do when you travel to Marrakech and the best places to see, as well as things you should not do when traveling to Marrakech, because as a lot of people are not aware, Marrakech is also a place that is quite religious, and Morocco as a country. However, they are very obedient and they do respect a lot of the foreigners, but it's important that the foreigners also respect the local people. And I'll dive all into that in this video. Whether you're a seasoned traveler or exploring this city for the first time, I've created a list of the best experiences you can't miss while you're here in 2024. But before we dive in, let me share some essential tips to make your stay in Marrakech smoother. First things first, guys, when you actually arrive into Marrakech, you're going to arrive obviously into the airport, and one of the first things you actually want to do is probably grab a local SIM card. And the reason I say that, you don't want to be tallying up your home country's internet bill, because you know how they can be super expensive. However, you can pay roughly 30 or 40 euros or so for a SIM card that will give you around 30 or 40 gigabyte, depending how much you want, and that usually lasts for one whole month. And when it comes to actually exchanging money at the airport, that's something that you can do. And I highly recommend changing money when you actually arrive to Marrakech, because you're likely going to get a better rate for your money. And secondly, when you're paying the vendors in the airport, they typically actually ask you to pay with euros. If you pay with euros, it's actually more expensive. So change up some euros or whatever currency you've got from your home country and actually change it to the local currency of Moroccan dirhams. And then that way you can pay the vendors that get your SIM card at the airport with the local money. Works out a little bit cheaper, so I think around 10 euros or so when I worked it out last time. Now, when it comes to accommodation, if you haven't been to Marrakech before, most of you are likely going to want to stay in a hotel or a riad type of style. A riad is that beautiful thing that you see all over Instagram that everybody takes pictures of. It's got that square kind of almost rectangle looking building, and then in the middle they've either got a swimming pool or a beautiful area like a lounge where you can sit down and have some beautiful Moroccan tea in the morning. I think, look, personally, if you haven't visited Marrakech before, highly recommend booking a riad, because you'll get that beautiful Marrakech Moroccan authentic experience. But if you've been to Morocco before, or maybe you don't want to book a hotel, you're a little bit like myself and the wife, you prefer to book an Airbnb, there's so many incredible Airbnb options available. And this Airbnb that we stayed in, that you can see over my voiceover right now, is actually one that is roughly about 15 minutes drive outside of the city, and you can rent a car for roughly around almost 30 euros a day, which is not that expensive. And I'll leave all of those details down below as well, with the Airbnb that we booked, if you want to reach out to the car hire person, just drop me a message on my Instagram. It is just here, and I'll share his contact details with you. But it's just a great way to get around. But again, so you've got those two options, either Airbnb or a riad style hotel. And personally, I love the Airbnbs because internet speed's really good, they're so modern, they're so clean, and yeah, just overall personally for us, we really preferred the Airbnb style. And guys, I wanted to share something with you all. As you know how much I love Morocco, behind the scenes I've been trying to learn some of the Moroccan Arabic, which is Darija. I hope you're going to be impressed with some of the words that I'm about to say. Let's go for it. Marhaba bikum fil qanat dili. Salam smiti yad. Femri rab'a wa talatin. Now tell me guys, how was that? Did I get the pronunciation right? And because usually I know a little bit of Arabic because I can speak a little bit of Iraqi Arabic. Moroccan Arabic is so much more different. I'm literally trying to get my Moroccan up to scratch so I can speak to more of the locals in town, and also maybe even do a Moroccan full vlog one day, speaking totally in Arabic. And I've actually been using a company by the name of italki, and they've actually been so helpful. I've been using them literally for the last year now, learning quite a few other languages like Indian, Nepalese, and now Moroccan Arabic. And the teacher that I had for the Moroccan Arabic, funny enough, her name is also Aya, which, as you guys know, is also my daughter's name. And I literally love how easy it is to learn from the teachers on italki. And they've actually sponsored today's video, which is just perfect because I am actually literally trying to learn the Moroccan Arabic. And let me just show you a little bit of my class with Aya.
سلام، سميتي ياد، في عمري 34 سنة. أنا من كردستان، ولكن أو أعتى but I grew up in England, right?
Yeah, but I grew up كبير في إنجليزي.
It's Darija. You might have noticed that there's no is in the sentence. What is your name? There's just what your name.
Yeah. Direct, very direct.
And that's because, we don't use that in our sentences.
مرحبا بكم في
like this.
Okay. And some of the things that I really love about italki is you can have personalized one-on-one lessons for essentially effective learning, so you can directly speak with the teachers. With this, you'll have personalized content for your unique and personal goals. You can also practice real-life conversations with your teachers, just like myself. I wanted to introduce myself in one of my YouTube vlogs, and whilst doing this, you'll improve your listening and speaking skills. And the great thing is you can also connect with over 30,000 teachers worldwide, so you're highly likely to find a teacher that's going to be the right fit for you. If you're a beginner, you can also find a teacher that speaks your local language for a better understanding. The great thing is you pay per lesson, so there literally isn't any subscriptions. And finally, you can book lessons around your busy schedule and learn from anywhere. To get started on this today, guys, and learn just like myself, click the link in the description box just below. When you buy $10 worth of classes, you get $5 for free on your first lesson using my promo code, which is YAD2024. And finally, guys, the discount is only for the first 50 people that go and grab it, so make sure you guys grab it before it runs out. And I look forward to receiving some of your comments to see how my Arabic was. Was it good, or was it bad, or was it in between? So yeah, I hope that I'm going to learn some more Moroccan Arabic so I can literally conversate with the locals all around town, in the markets, the restaurants. As I say, I would really love to be able to record a whole vlog in Moroccan Arabic. Now, next, guys, things to avoid when you're actually in Marrakech. And this is definitely a sore subject for some people because there's so many crazy videos online on YouTube with crazy things, I guess, that people may have experienced in Marrakech or in Morocco, and you kind of get a little bit wary. But I'll just cover 3 things that I think that are definitely important. Now, number 1. I would say avoid aggressive bargaining. The reason why I mention this is because, okay, Morocco is definitely known for a place where you should bargain because it's just the way it is. You're always going to have your prices set at quite a high level, shall I say. Everybody always tries to get that additional extra dirhams with the tourists because they know tourists come with that extra bit of change in their pocket. However, at the same time, you're able to bargain. Here's an example here with an awesome guy that I met this year in the shop. He even admitted that it's a normal thing. However, just be very respectful with it, because at the same time, a lot of these guys are really, I would say, reliant on tourism. So even if you do give a little bit extra, then expect it. It's definitely nice, especially if the vendor you're dealing with, you know, is really nice to you and making you feel really welcome. It's quite nice just to give that additional, it's almost like tip to them. I mean, it's totally up to you guys, obviously, what you want to do. But personally, for me, when I go to places like Morocco and I meet some of the locals, I don't mind giving them that extra support. Now, number 2, guys, is respect the cultural norms. So essentially what I mean by that, I've actually had a lot of messages on my Instagram with a lot of people saying how should they dress when they're actually over in Marrakech or just Morocco in general. Again, remember, guys, Morocco is is a Islamic country, so what that means, obviously they are very religious. However, they do respect foreigners coming and dressing how they please. But at the same time, if you're going into, let's say, some of the madrasas, which are like the beautiful religious places where they have all the beautiful Moroccan architecture, maybe in some of those places just don't be overly exposed, if you like. Maybe just cover some of the body just to be respectful, and even when you're walking around, maybe don't, you know, just flaunt it basically, because again, just respect the country, because it is a religious country, so just respect that part of it. But again, I mean, when we were in Morocco, there's, you know, women dressed in, you know, sleeveless tops and all of that stuff. That's fine. Just going a bit crazy. I'm sure you guys know exactly what I mean. Next one on the list, guys, is don't follow unlicensed guides. There are a lot of people just around some of the back alleyways or some of the corners or even some of the main attractions of Marrakech, like the main square, which the name I always forget, is just up here. And don't follow unlicensed guides, guys, because essentially you're just going to run into problems where they try to charge you X amount, and then by the end of it they're going to say, no, I want this amount, and at the end of the day they're unlicensed, so they can do and say as they want. If you want to get guides, I've got some links down below for all different experiences that you guys can book that are all very well recognized, or speak to your hotel to actually arrange guides for you. And if you're not staying at a hotel, you can easily go to a lot of the travel shops that basically have their own guides that you can pay for. You can get a receipt and you can make sure that it's fully legitimate. So now we're going to go into the exciting part, which are the top 10 things that you guys should also do when visiting Marrakech. Now, these are in no particular order, guys. I've just put them from 1 to 10, so make sure you do stick around to the end of this list so you don't miss out on any of the places that I recommend. So we'll start off with number 1. Number 1 is a place called Bacha Coffee. It is such an incredible place. It's definitely for the coffee lovers, and even if you are not a coffee lover, it's just such a beautiful place, because just before you go in, they've got this beautiful garden that you can go and just take some pictures and just enjoy a little bit of tranquility from all the hecticness of Marrakech. And then once you finish from that area, it's also kind of like a museum. You basically go into the Bacha Coffee. Typically it is quite busy, so just bear in mind that when you do go there, you may just have to wait. They give you this card where you just kind of like a ticket thing, and they buzz you in. We waited around, I think, 15-20 minutes when we were there, but again, it's going to depend on the day. Once you actually go into the restaurant, it's so beautiful. Everybody in there knows their coffee so well. They've got coffee from all around the world, and it was probably the place that I've had the best coffee that I've ever tried. We had some Colombian, some Kenyan, and then we ordered this platter of different types of dishes like croissants, egg omelette. It was just so nice, and it's just such a great experience. And if you're a sucker for architect, it's got beautiful Moroccan architecture inside, where again you can take those beautiful Instagram photos or just some photos for yourself to enjoy. But that is definitely high on the list, guys. Make sure you go and check out Bacha Coffee. Number 2 on the list is a place called Luma Restaurant. So if you guys like a little bit of almost fine dining with a mix of with a Moroccan twist, there's this restaurant that's called Luma Restaurant. It's an area called Gueliz, which is kind of the more modern and trendy side. So if you fancy going out for dinner and just having that nice experience, and sometimes on the weekend they've got belly dancers in there, so do check their Instagram profile online to see when they actually have those events, because you can be sat down with some nice food as well as having like a nice performance going on. But when we went there, it was a bit of a quiet night because we went with the little one. They have got beautiful modern food. We had some lamb, we had some beef sliders. So it's just got that Moroccan twist with a little bit of it's got that modern twist with the Moroccan take on it. So I highly recommend checking out Luma Restaurant. Now, number 3 is shopping in the Medina area, which are basically the souks. I would put aside a whole day for this activity. If you're going in the summer, make sure you go in the morning because it's going to be way too hot in the afternoon, and then just enjoy the full day and get that full Moroccan Medina old school experience. Just enjoy it. Now, one thing I do want to say, guys, is if you're from the West and traveling to Morocco, there are going to be some things that are probably going to shock you when you're in the souk, and it's just probably, I would say, the heavy sales tactics some of the locals use just to get you into their shops and just obviously try to get you to buy something. However, one thing I'll say is don't feel too overwhelmed or feel like they're being rude or too pushy. It's literally just the way they are, and just as I say, just embrace it. Don't feel, don't get too emotionally attached by the fact that they're just pulling you into their shops and this and that. I mean, don't get me wrong, some people may feel a little bit offended or a little bit uneasy, but it's just the way it is. So again, when you put that into your mind before you go into the souks, just be prepared for the hecticness. Then you won't feel too much of a way about it. You'll just be able to relax and say, okay, this is just how it is here. And you won't feel offended, is probably the best way to put it. Next on the list, number 4, is the famous Jemaa El-Fnaa Square. And this is probably one of the most famous squares in Morocco, or places in Morocco, shall I say, because this is where you'll see all the snake charmers, all the people with the monkeys and the fruit stands, and plenty of funky, weird things in that, well, not that small, it's quite a big square actually, and it actually comes alive definitely more in the evening. So if you want to go and see the real square and how it comes alive, definitely head over there after around 7-8 p.m. because that's when it gets really busy. All the street vendors come and you've got all different types of street food, you've got performances, you've got everything is just going on. But just be a little bit aware when you are in that area, just to carry a little bit of change with you, because a lot of the vendors there, when it comes to the street performers, if you watch their performance, they're going to want you to pay them to actually watch that performance. They'll be very forceful. So that's one thing I've just given you a little bit of a warning about that, is that a lot of the vendors are a little bit forceful in that area. But when you go over to the vendors that have the street food and the drinks, all of those guys are super cool. Again, they're also a little bit, I would say, forceful, but not as much as the guys that are performing, because they see it as soon as you look or you take a picture or video, they're straight on your case. Because when I was actually over there and I was filming, as soon as the video or the camera would be pointing at them, they'd rush over to me with like a hat, and they would be like, put some money into the hat, which was, to be honest, quite uncomfortable. And I wasn't expecting it. But now that I know, when I went back again this year, I just knew what the drill was. So I just was just a little bit more aware to not go near certain vendors or not like film them. Or if I was going to film them, just make sure that I've got a bit of change in my pocket just to chuck them some like 20 dirhams or something like that, just so they can be happy. And there may be occasions where they may turn around and say, oh, that's not enough. Because I'll show you a video just now when we went there last year. This guy with these monkeys came over and literally just put the monkeys on my head, and he was trying to, by the end of it, I think he was trying to charge me like 20 euros he wanted, or yeah, 200 Moroccan dirham he wanted at the end. It was crazy. But in the end we just gave him 20, you know. He was literally really trying it. I was giving him the money into his hand and he was like, no, I don't want this.
No, 200 dirhams.
Yeah, take it.
200 dirhams.
Huh?
200.
How much this one?
200 dirhams. 200.
No way.
Thank you very much.
No, not 200.
Yes.
That's too much.
One.
No.
One.
So yeah, again, there's these type of people in a lot of places around the world. It's not just Morocco, but I'm just giving you guys the heads up, just a little tip there when you go to that square, just be a little bit alert. But other than that, it is very, very fun, and you'll have some good fun when you actually go and experience it. And next on the list is Jardin Majorelle. Jardin Majorelle is that beautiful garden where they have that famous blue house, and you've probably seen it when you search Morocco online. It's probably one of the most famous images you're going to see, and it's definitely a fantastic experience. But just one pre-warning, when you go there, guys, go very, very early in the morning. I think they open around 7 or 8 a.m. When we went, I think we went as well about 7 or 8 a.m. We made sure we got there on the second they opened the doors, because if you don't get there early, the queues will stretch on for a very long, I would say, almost half a kilometer. But here's some pictures and videos when we were there last year of how busy it was. Let's beat the queues by going in. So once you're inside, it's a beautiful garden with so many different cactuses, palm trees, all different types of plants from all around the world. But I guess the main attraction is going to be that blue house where you can take the photo as well, because it is a really, really gorgeous place. And they've also got a cafeteria just next door where you can just go and have a nice coffee. And the tickets to get in, I'll just leave the price up here because I can't remember exactly, but this is it. This is exactly how much it was to get in when we went there. Now, next on the list is, actually I've put this bit in order because it's right next to the Majorelle Gardens. It is the YSL Museum. Now, the YSL Museum is a place that we didn't go in the first year, but we ended up going the second year. And I mean, it's just something that if you're interested in that type of stuff in terms of like fashion and just want to know a little bit about YSL and how he came about, how he created his designs, and they just go a little bit in detail with it inside the museum, then it's going to be your thing. But personally, I probably wouldn't go back again for me because it's not something that I'm very interested in terms of fashion and all that jazz. But again, we just went there this year because it was just a nice experience just to see what it was all about. Again, they've got a cafe in there as well, but yeah, just nice place overall. Next on the list, guys, is Morocco cooking class. And this is something that I'm doing nearly in every country that I go to nowadays, is actually doing a cooking class, because the best way to find the way into the local people is actually eating the local food. And what better way than actually cooking it yourself? So me and my wife, we did a Moroccan cooking class in Marrakech, and it was such a great experience. We literally cooked everything in a tagine style, because again, everybody thinks tagine is actually a dish, but tagine is actually a way of cooking, and that is something we learned in our cooking class. We cooked beef tagine, we cooked chicken. Wow, it was just so good. We had all the spices all in our hands, mixing it all up, and we met some other cool locals. So if you're also like a solo traveler and you want to meet other people, it's a great way to meet some people from all around the world, because you've got people from Australia, from the UK, Ireland, all around the world, basically France, cooking with you. So we was roughly with us, I think there was around maybe 6, 7 or 10, I can't remember exactly, but I think around that much. So it's like a nice vibe, and we made some Moroccan tea. We learned what the difference from good Moroccan tea to bad Moroccan tea. We actually learned that if the tea is too black, at the bottom, it's actually bad leaves or something along those lines, but if it stays nice and green, it's actually going to be a good tasty Moroccan tea. So apparently some places use the cheap stuff, which you want to stay away from. If you see that black stuff, then do not drink it, but if it's nice and green, then you know it's clean and it's filtered. But overall, guys, absolutely love that Morocco cooking class, and I'll leave the details again if you want to book it for yourself, all down below. Next on the list, guys, is a place called Cafe Clock. So what this place basically is, we didn't actually know when we went there that there was going to be some insane Moroccan dancing and music. It was just amazing. So we actually went there to have something, camel burger, because we heard it's a famous thing to do in Marrakech. So we went and had the camel burger. Was a little bit dry, to be honest. It wasn't as juicy as I'd hoped for, but the overall experience of being in Cafe Clock was amazing, because there was this amazing Moroccan dancing going on. There was music, it was loud. It was just such a great experience to see how the Moroccans like to have a little bit of a party. I mean, yeah, I guess you can call it a party, but it's basically like a restaurant that has some performances going on certain days. So maybe check out their Instagram or the website before you go, because I think they always change it around a bit. But when we went, there was Moroccan dancing and singing, and yeah, it was definitely a great experience, one we didn't expect, but one I wanted to mention in this video, because if you want to look for those cool hidden things to do in Marrakech, this is definitely going to be one of them. You'll have a good time. And next on the list, guys, is exploring the area of Gueliz. Gueliz is actually, so let me just put it this way. Marrakech is a city of contrasts. You've got the modern side and you've got the Medina side. However, 9 out of 10 people, when they visit Marrakech, everyone just goes to the Medinas and sees all the heritage and all of that stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong, there is nothing wrong with that, and I do think you should do it. However, I feel like you should not forget to visit some of the modern area of Gueliz, because they've got all these beautiful restaurants there, cafeterias, and it's just very, very modern. It's got the Moroccan twist on it. They've still got the Moroccan twist of all the red buildings, the red pinkish. I'm not actually sure what that exact color is. For the locals, if you can tell me what that is, just drop it in the comments. But they've still kept the Moroccan heritage, the Marrakech heritage, shall I say. They've got that modern twist on it. And it's just a great place to walk around and check out some of the cafes. And one cafe that we went to that we loved last year, I'll just leave the name up here. It's great for breakfast. I think we paid like 6-7 euros at a time. We had this huge platter of breakfast that came with like a yogurt, a main breakfast a main breakfast dish, a drink, coffee, and orange juice. Just so much for your money, and they've got beautiful pastries as well. So make sure you go and check that place out, guys. It's absolutely delicious, and it can be quite busy, so try to get there quite early in the morning, but they do their best to accommodate you. And there you have it, guys. These are the must-do things you should do in Marrakech, and also some of the things to be aware of when visiting Marrakech. From sipping coffee at Bacha to exploring the vibrant Jemaa El-Fnaa Square, these places promise unforgettable memories. Trust me, guys, make sure you try to do everything in this list because you will not be disappointed. But if you're a local or have visited Marrakech before, share your favorite spots in the comments below, because we're still in Morocco and we are still to explore so much in this country. We visited Morocco last year and we recorded almost 20 videos on the beautiful country of Morocco. Do check out that playlist, it's just up there. We did so many things, from Blue City to Atlas Mountains to Casablanca, Rabat, Tangier, Marrakech, Essaouira, literally so many of the main places. So if you do want to see a full series on all the places that we went to last year, check that link up there. If you want to see things that are more recent at the back end of 2023, check that link just up there. And again, guys, if you are new to the channel and you haven't subscribed before and you've enjoyed today's video, please don't forget to give it a like and subscribe, because it really does help this video, and you'll also be able to see more videos like this that are relevant to you. And until next time, guys, I hope you have a good evening wherever you're watching from, or good morning, and I can't wait to see you all on the next Moroccan adventure. Peace out and good night.